I spent the better half of 2025 building my new shop, and I documented as much as I could. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how I did it.
We're gonna pull it down with the car. Yeah, we're gonna hook a chain up to it and just pull. It's gonna be quite the moment once it comes down.
So I remember pulling it down. I actually just found the receipts for the first thing that I bought, and it was a set of 1/2 inch, 6-inch long eye bolts and two 30-foot toe straps. And we hooked it all up, and the first pull on the garage, both the 6-inch eye bolts straightened themselves out, blew up the 2x6 that they were through. So the garage was a little bit more sturdy than I anticipated when we were trying to tear it down. But it did come down in the end. It was really nice that we were able to actually save a lot of the material from the garage and use it in other parts of the new garage. You'll get to see some of that recycling later on in the video. Once the old shop was pulled down, it was time to remove the old foundation. And I had actually poured the concrete floor for this foundation when I first bought the house. So that was kind of crazy to see something removed that was that big that I had actually put in years and years ago. When we first bought the house, the floor in the shop was dirt, and we decided to put a concrete floor in there. We poured it the morning before we left to go whitewater rafting. My stepdad and my younger brother came over. We had 6 yards of concrete brought over, and we poured the garage, and we were short by like a yard, which sucked because that 1 yard's called a short load, so it's extra money. And this time around, it was better to make sure that this was done correct by a professional. I'm sure I could have handled pouring the foundation and setting all the forms and things, but it is the foundation of your building, and if the foundation is wrong, the whole building is wrong. So safe bets, just have somebody else do it to make sure that part's right. And once foundation is done, I will make sure everything else is correct. But the new foundation was poured and everything was done within a 3-day span, I think. We had a little bit of a bump in the road, and it was, in fact, a little bit out of level, but they came back and they were able to level it all out. Once that was all leveled off, I was able to start building the walls. So the first wall that I put together for this thing, I got one chunk of wall up, and by the second chunk of wall, my nail gun broke. And the pressure on the air compressor was set too high, so it blew out the nail gun and it wouldn't work anymore, and I had to use a hammer and nails. Back to the Stone Age. Haven't done that in a long time. I built the first wall by myself, and then the back wall that was pretty much just straight studs. I had my boys help me. That was the first time they got to shoot a big 3.5 inch 16 penny nail out of the nail gun. They did pretty well. A little bit scared, a little bit nervous when they were doing it, but they did really well. So once all the walls were done and the header was in for the garage door, it was time to put up the ceiling joists. And these ones were big. They were 32-foot long, 16-inch eye joists. So I had to cut them both down, one on each side. Once the floor was up and everything was squared and all secured, I had a delivery of the subflooring dropped off to my house. And when they dropped it off, I was hoping they would be able to use the forklift and just put it onto the top. But the garage was too tall. So I had to carry every single 3/4 inch tongue and groove subfloor panel up a ladder just to get the floor done upstairs. Picking those up and sticking them on top of the 10-foot tall wall was quite the task to do that by yourself. Once it was all up there, I laid it all out, got a nice little rhythm going, and I was able to use expanding foam adhesive for the subfloor, and it worked really well. I'd never used that before. But it was super easy and went really smooth. The floor went down. I think there was over 2,300 nails in that subfloor, if I remember right. Way more than I feel like you'll ever need. But it's not going anywhere. If there's a tornado in my neighborhood, I'm going to the garage, not staying in my house. Then the last real big project we did for the season before the snow actually came was the roof. And I had a truss day, is what I called it. So we had my stepdad, dad, my brother, and a few other people come over, and we built all the trusses in one day. And then the next day, we stood all the trusses up. So we had the whole roof up and framed in 2 days. And once it was framed, I went back on my own, and I put all the roof sheathing on. It was fun. I was pretty excited when the trusses went up. After I got the first 2 pitches of the roof sheeted with the roof sheeting. I was a little more comfortable with how the roof was, so the boys went up there and they were able to stand in the top of the trusses, and I have pictures of them from the backyard, how little they look on the top of the big new shop. It's kind of crazy. Before the snow came was the shingles for the roof. And again, I chose to just have a company come out and do the shingles. I talked about it with a lot of people, and at the end of the day, if a company wants to come out and put the shingles on for me and I don't have to go back up there ever again, that's much better for me. So they came, and then 2 days later, we got 18 inches of snow. So it was perfect timing. We're ready, man. I got my first big project coming up. It's a 12-foot diameter circle bar for my sister's wedding. It's going to have 4 sections. It's going to take up a huge chunk, and I definitely would not have been able to build it in my old shop. So I am thrilled that the first project will get to utilize the new space that I have.
Look at the new garage. I'm so excited. The new shop. Look at the new shop.